Stop 3 of the Montreal Canadiens trips in Anaheim didn't turn out too well. The Ducks are one of worst teams in league, if not worst, as Montreal let down 2 goals 3-2 in third. Wild Horses' Jonathan Drouin scored his first goal of the season and his first since January 2022. It's been a 15-month wait for Drouin. A Mike Matheson shot leaked from John Gibson and hung in the crease in the back for Drouin only to hit home. After 18 assists, Drouin scored. A huge smile spread across his face and he waved his arms happily. His teammates were also happy for him. He's smiling on the ice and his entire bench. It's a close-knit group you wouldn't see much on a losing team. But head coach Martin St. Louis makes them care about each other. They also have veterans who are interested in the final year of their contract, which is a challenge. Nick Suzuki added a late tally drawn by the goalkeeper and made the situation 3-2. Suzuki, who broke a career record of 61 points, scored the 21st goal of the season and reached 65 points. Wild Goat's year of shoulder injuries for Canadiens. Caufield, Arber, Xhekaj and Justin Barron have suffered shoulder injuries this season. Caufield and Xhekaj needed surgery and closed the season. Barron, who had a recent shoulder injury, may also have been gone for a while. Add Kaiden Guhle, who suffered a shoulder injury in the first period from a hit by Maxime Comtois. Gühle immediately grabbed his shoulder and looked quite pained. Shotgun continued in the second period, but his shifts were limited due to injury. Although Gühle looks good in the third period. Let's see what Saturday will bring when the adrenaline stops. In less than 2 months, there may be a 4th shoulder problem. It's unusual, but it feels like everybody's been injured this season. So maybe it's not unusual at all. 329 Wilde Call. Wild cards. It was a disappointing line for the Montreal Canadiens. Of course there were many mitigating factors and no blame is being brought here. But it cannot be denied that it was a disappointing day. Many teams increased their chances of success in the future, but the Canadiens failed to do so. This is the cold and hard truth of the matter. The goal is become a stronger squad when the Canadiens are ready to compete for a playoff spot. Managing old assets get better. Younger assets. It just didn't happen. Sean Monahan got off to an excellent start for the Canadiens. It was hoped he could get high draft pick, perhaps a first, but he injured his foot and then suffered different injury while healing his foot. Now the rumor is that Monahan is unlikely to play this season. Joel Edmundson was also on the trading block for Montreal. It was also hoped he could get a high draft pick, but he was injured every day for 35 days. 11 games short. He finally returned to the lineup on Thursday night, but the suitors weren't confident enough that he could compete effectively in a long playoff run. Edmundson also stayed with the team. Josh Anderson was also on the block, but he didn't put a proper spin on General Manager Kent Hughes either. Hughes is said to have turned down the first-round pick, believing Anderson was worth more than that. Anderson's story remains intact as his contract is many years away. Anderson will be 29 next season and Hughes thinks Anderson will continue to serve the team well. The goal is always to trade an aging veteran with a rebuild at the best run the player can be on. Anderson has 18 goals this season. This is a strong first 60 for him. It really can't outperform that. So it's hard to imagine Anderson would be worth more than he was this March 3rd. We'll see. With the Monahan trading story over, considering his contract is up, Edmundson has another 1-year contract in the trading story. So maybe GM can finally gain some value. Overall, Hughes has expressed his willingness to receive a 3rd first-round draft pick for this summer's draft. At this point, this target has not been reached. However, time is still ticking, and for Anderson at least, there is hope. The goal is to choose best players because they are the winners of Stanley Cups. The best players are found at the beginning of the draft. The statistics on this matter are clear and precise. 50% of the league's stars are in the top 5, followed by 20% from 6 to 10. Having stars doesn't necessarily mean a team will win the trophy. But not having stars means you can't win the trophy. In the last 30 years, only St. Louis Blues won the trophy without stars. Get stars or hope your team is one of the 30 exceptions. These are the choices. The goal in sports should be to get the best players. Without Crosby, Malkin, Letang, Hedman, Kucherov, Stamkos, Kane, Toews, Seabrook or Keith, he's back in the middle of the standings once this remake is complete. Life in the Middle is the movie Canadian hockey fans have been watching since 1993. This is the sad truth. Hughes talks about building sustainable success once this restructuring is over. There are strong pieces in place and many other good hopes for good nights at the Bell Centre. However, Canadians will need an Ovechkin and a Backstrom for a parade. This is simple math. Greatness wins championships. This is the way it should be. What kind of sport would it be if the most talented players won fair middle player championships? While watching it all from the couch? There is work to be done. Montreal needs to find Makar and McKinnon before millions can celebrate on St. Catherine Street.